everybody, to the countdown. Stay tuned, sports' very own Power Rankings countdown show. I'm your boy King. That is your good friend Jimbo right over there. How you doing, Jimbo?
Pretty good. Not too bad.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds promising. Yeah. Outside of the wasp problem, you got wasps trying to kill you. Wasps? No, that's a different thing.
Whoa.
That's a completely different thing. Wait a minute.
We're not big enough to get canceled yet.
Little Freudian slip there. Oh boy, the wife's gonna be angry at me. She's Italian, so she's gonna be very upset. But wasps, you have wasps all over the place, huh?
Yeah, it started a couple days ago. My oldest said, he saw one or two wasps, and he's afraid of bees. Like he'll see a bumblebee and say it's a murder hornet type thing, So anything that he says with like bees or flies or anything, I take with a grain of salt. So when he said that he saw one or two of them on the door, or the screen door, and I'm like, okay, it's Andy. And then the wife said, there was like 4 when I left for work on the door. It's like, okay, so there's something probably around the door somewhere.
Right.
And then I sprayed it. The couple that were there. Now I have a metal screen door. And the next day, now I go to work early in the morning, so they're already sleeping, basically the wasps. So when she went to go to work, she said, there was like 12 or 15 of them. And I'm thinking, okay, it's the wife. She's just over-exaggerating. I come home and no, there was like 20. It felt like the movie The Fly or something.
They were
like
coming
that.
back. Listen, they knew it. They were like, this sumbitch done killed 4 of our friends. Round them up. Let's go. It's time to go. Get the squad up. Regulators. Mount up.
The problem was there's no hive outside this door anywhere around it. I asked my son, so where did you exactly see them coming in and out of? And right where the handle is, I put a new handle on the door because the old one was just worn out.
Right.
And there's the old holes from the old handle.
Right.
And they're going in and out of there.
They're
so
probably, so they got something, that's where their nesting is in there, yeah. So that's why you're not seeing the actual one, so.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, I've seen plenty of the things online, like on TikTok and things where people take like the cup of gasoline and put it over the hornets. Don't do that. Not because I think it doesn't work, because I think it does work. I don't trust you with gasoline around your house. You're not gonna have a house if you do that. So
and not even just that. Yesterday when I came home, after I sprayed the 15 of them, which was 2 days ago, when I came home yesterday, there was only 2 of them. I'm like, okay, progress.
Oh, they're learning. Starting to learn their lesson.
I'm still gonna spray these 2 in case these are like the backline ones that of the army, right? So I sprayed them, and the one, obviously disoriented from the spray, started to fly sideways alongside the house. I'm like, oh hell no! And you just see my house. It's all spray. And I sprayed it, and I nailed the motherfucker. He went down the ground. I'm looking at him, and he went to get up to fly. I'm like, ksh, and I pulled a Agnes Flood on him. I just drowned him in that chemical shit.
No, see, this is why. Yeah, if you had shoes on? Did you have shoes on?
Yeah, but I sprayed him first.
Oh, you should have Godzilla'd him right. He was there. Once you sprayed everything, once he's falling down, he's trying to get up and crawl away. You should have been like, as I'm wearing the big man Godzilla shirt here,
the old 1960s Godzilla.
That's it, baby. So that's fun. That's interesting. Yeah. That's something else that's going on. Something else that is going on, apparently, is something that I didn't think was possible, but now appears to be something that is very much on the table, and that's going to be Brandon Ayuk possibly actually getting traded from the Niners. Now, the 49ers said this whole offseason and early on in training camp, and we've seen Brandon Ayuk walking around and dapping up everybody and dapping up Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and everybody, and see, nothing really bad that we've seen.
Yeah.
But now you sent me something yesterday from some Pittsburgh amalgamation aggregator site on X, and you said it to me, and I was like, that seems implausible. Plus, look at the source. There's not really any good sources about this. I was like, you were like, oh, maybe it's something. And I was like, it's probably nothing. Well, turns out might be something. As it came out later that indeed the Steelers were looking and talking to the 49ers about putting together a package, a deal. The 49ers all of a sudden said that they were very open now to trading Brandon and having him talk to other teams to negotiate contracts. Now, from what we understand, as of this moment, which is 3:12 p.m. on Tuesday, August 6th, as we're doing this, we debated going live, but we didn't, is that the Browns and the Patriots have both a contract ready to go and a trade package ready to go that has been deemed acceptable by the 49ers. So there's two deals right now ready to go on Brandon Ayuk's say-so, and that is to the Browns or to the Patriots. Now, you heard recently from, was it Shefty or was it Rappaport?
Rappaport about an hour ago from this point now.
Right.
He said that the Steelers are still in it.
So the Steelers are still trying to find something together. But a lot like I said to you yesterday when you had brought me that first report from, Sports Look at My Balls 14 or whatever the hell it was, whatever Twitter account that was. My initial reaction to that was, I don't think the Steelers have the assets to move to get Brandon Ayuk. Yeah. And that's why for them to do that, they would have to give up like Hayward or T.J. Watt, which they're not going to do.
And on Pat's show today, they said not George Pickens. Obviously, that'd be stupid for Pittsburgh to do that. But their second string wide receiver, I forget.
Yeah, but you're not. But San Francisco's not going to accept that, and clearly that's the case because they have it. Whereas they've accepted the fact that the Browns would send, this is reportedly, would send Amari Cooper in whatever trade. There would probably be Amari Cooper and a couple of draft picks, whatever that may be, would be sent to San Francisco in exchange for Brandon Ayuk then. This is all coming from Schefter, Rappaport, and Ari Miroff, all on Twitter. So this is all from legitimate insider sources. Sauces. I don't know.
Sauces.
All of a sudden I turn over some Boston. Which is funny because the Patriots are one of the teams that are in it. And I believe we have what was the Kendrick Bourne is who New England would send along with whatever draft picks it would be in order to get Brandon Ayuk. So those are the two that we know of that are in there, locked, ready to go if Brandon Ayuk says yes.
Yeah.
Now, Brandon Ayuk clearly hasn't said yes yet, or if he has, it just hasn't broken yet. If he decides to, this is going to tell you what is important to him, what matters to him. And we go, if he picks the Browns, which may not be able to give him as much money as the Patriots, then that means he wants his money and he still wants to win.
Yeah.
So there's still that. If he picks the Patriots, he wants money and doesn't care about winning.
I don't know, maybe. Because it was just popped in my head now, like, okay, they're in a full rebuild mode. Maybe he has the understanding that, okay, we're going to suck at least for a year or two. Maybe that third year, Drake may, is the next Tom Brady, and they start their own dynasty type thing. I know it's a long shot, but
I mean, listen, he would instantly make the Patriots more of a threat, more of a challenge than either you or I have thought they would be this season, or I think anybody really. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, all those things that I bring up. Which is why, the Texans were so surprising last year when they had a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback and they did what they were able to do, especially in the last half of the season. I don't know if the Patriots are going to be able to do that. Why does it sound like someone's trying to... is Zool in my refrigerator? There is no Dana, only Zool. But I like he would obviously make the Patriots better. Does he make them a playoff team? No. Do the Patriots are the Patriots think going to be a threat or a contender in any way, shape, or form either this year or even next year? I'm probably not going to say that. If you put Brandon Ayuk onto the Cleveland Browns, even with taking away Amari Cooper, which is a lot. I mean, that's a significant trade.
Yeah.
The Browns have a shot to be dangerous in that division. Now, I already think they are going to be. I already have them down as winning it. You have them in last place, I think. But either way, I think we both think that it is going to be a good and competitive division. And if the Browns do get Brandon Ayuk and we get 2021 Deshaun Watson, minus the, massage parlors, then the Browns are all of a sudden going to start turning heads. As like, because everybody, it feels like almost wants to give it to the Ravens by default, no matter how tough everybody thinks the division might be. Everybody just seems to want to give it to the Ravens, especially because they got Derrick Henry. But you get the Browns, Ayuk, it's again, I think Amari Cooper is a big enough name too, but I don't know.
And that's why, like, if the Browns are the ones that get Ayuk, Cooper goes to San Fran plus a second and or a third round draft pick, whereas the Patriots would give up Bourne and next year's first round draft pick, which we all know how you feel about draft picks, but that's a significant jump between a first and a second round draft pick, or even a first to a third round draft pick too.
You have to see how because here's the thing, like the Niners have a safety net with Debo. Yeah. Like they just signed Debo. Debo's on there for I think he's got another 2 or 3 years on his contract. I'd have to look. I don't know it offhand, so don't yell at me. But like it's you're still gonna have threats out there, and then especially if you get Amari Cooper back, that's not a significant drop from Ayuk. No, as far as having a receiving threat out there, that's what I mean. So, like, if I'm the 49ers, personally, I might be just like, hey, go Cleveland, go be a Brown, go. If that's what if that's what you're gonna do, if it's gonna be either you're gonna have a disgruntled Brandon Ayuk on the team all year, or he's gonna hold out or do anything like that. I think the Cleveland deal for the Niners is gangbusters. I think that's right up because you can get what is essentially almost feels like a 1-for-1 trade, and then you also and by that I mean you're not taking a significant talent drop and trading Ayuk for Amari Cooper. I think age-wise and maybe, whatever, yes, Amari Cooper is a little bit older, and you can look at it. But I'm talking about, like, you're not going from, Brandon Ayuk to name an old receiver who I can't even think of anymore. Like, you're not going, you're not getting Sterling Shepard or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're not taking that significant of a drop. You're not getting
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you're doing that's a pretty good deal. Plus, you're going to get draft picks on top of it. Like, again, yes, I'm not a big fan of draft picks, but I know certain, most people are. Most people have a feeling about, draft picks, always the future. And especially when you're the 49ers and you fucked up your draft picks as bad as you did with the whole Trey Lance thing. And trading a lot of your picks to get up there to get Trey Lance. And then how that all just kind of went to shit. It might not be bad to, not only that, but you get to replace picks and then you get to go to the owner and be like, hey, look, I got some of the draft picks back. Plus, it was good all around. Like, this trade would not diminish the 49ers in their contention for the Super Bowl this year. It wouldn't. If that happens. I'm going to be honest with you. Personally. It's just me. Just personally. The views of me do not represent that of Stay Tuned Sports or Jimbo or anybody else. I honestly think he stays in San Francisco this year.
And you know what? Like before we came on, I kind of said the same thing. Like there's a small part of me that just feels like I worded it the wrong way. I said it feels like a smokescreen, but it just feels like it's 49ers doing their due diligence, or how do you say that word?
Yes, it's due diligence.
You said due.
God, we're 12.
But it just, if the Steelers show up and say, hey, we'll give you George Pickens and 3 first-rounders, I mean, obviously San Fran will jump at that. But no team is going to unload the house for Brandon Ayuk. It's going to be a fair trade if it does happen.
I don't. It depends. It depends on how desperate you want to. How desperate is Pittsburgh? Is Mike Tomlin in a fuck it kind of year and just being like, let's just chuck everything at the wall, see what sticks. In which case, then if that is the case, then everything's on the table. Then they might trade Pickens. Then they might trade everybody. Like if he's just going to be like, talk to his GM, talk to everybody and just be like, why not take a shot? And I don't think it would be a smart move. I don't think it would be great, but it's we've seen crazier shit happen in the NFL.
That's why I'm surprised like nothing's coming out of what even the Steelers offered, because if I'm the Steelers, and this might be more of me hoping to see Ayuk goes to the Steelers, because I'm pulling for Justin Fields. The dude had nothing in Chicago, and then all of a sudden Chicago goes, "Oh, we'll go on a spending spree." Okay,
I feel bad. Now listen, it's not to say he didn't have anything. He did have DJ Moore there.
Yeah,
he had a couple things, but the weapons that Chicago has now that Caleb Williams is walking into is so much more than anything than Fields had there, and so that's the kind of thing too. Like if they get rid of Fields, they got Caleb, but also we're getting all these weapons. We also got Rome Odunze from the draft. We got all this kind of stuff. If I'm Fields, I'm like, motherfuck. I'm being paid. But also the other thing too is because Wilson's been hurt in practice there the whole time. Apparently, like Justin Fields is turning the heads and might be getting the nod above Russell Wilson to start. We don't know yet. They haven't done the depth chart yet, from what I understand. As of yet, I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Could be. I don't know. Yeah. But that the fact that he seems to be performing well, that the coaches are impressed by him, the people, the press who's watching him is impressed by what he's doing there. Maybe he gets something out of there. And then if you give him Brandon Ayuk, who knows? But like Pickens is good too. Like I'm not gonna like. Again, are you gonna throw away? And again, if you put Pickens on the 49ers and he has Brock Purdy thrown to him, that's not much of a drop off. And then especially because you got Debo on the other side, they're probably going to double Debo, which is going to leave Pickens one-on-one. Plus then you got Kittle as a safety valve. Plus you have like the 49ers are a fucking problem no matter what happens here. And I think maybe that's the part they realized and why they've kind of opened it up and said, yeah, sure, if you want to go find somebody to trade or get something done, go ahead. Maybe they finally just stopped and realized it's not worth the fighting and the hemming and hawing and all this stuff. Either way, however we come out of this, we're still going to be like the favorite in the NFC.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's just the way I look at it. But as of right now, and again, I want to look again and make sure that nothing has happened, because you never know when things break.
I got ESPN on in the background here. Nothing's come across.
Yeah, I got X up here. Twitter X Twitter. I like the idea of calling it X Twitter because it is kind of X Twitter. It's the X Twitter. But yes, all I'm seeing is reports that yes, the Steelers are still talking to the 49ers about how to get a deal done. But like I said, when you already have two teams that have ready to go deals on the table, you're at a bit of a disadvantage, because at any moment now you can just say, fuck it, send me to the Browns, and that's it. So. But we will keep an eye on that while we go ahead and talk about our power rankings, because that's the whole point of the show, baby. This is Countdown, giving you our power rankings. This is a preseason power rankings, counting down from 12 to 1. We are right now 5th overall pick. This is going to be pick number 5. Who do we think is going to be the first team in the top 5 of our power rankings? And looking through some of this stuff, we're going to start getting a little repeat of some teams here that we've already covered. So this might be a quick kind of 1, 2, 3 thing, just kind of a refresh of what we've already looked over. But Jimbo, let's take a look here at your number 5 team in your power rankings. Who you got?
So for number 5, I have the Houston Texans, and what King means that as far as these might sound like repeated or whatever, don't forget our Friday forecast show where we talk about the preview to the divisions, and we talked about Houston.
Well, that and Houston was my number 7, 6 team, something like that. So like we just literally talked about them on this show.
Yeah. The reason why I put them up there is they don't feel like a fluke. They do have a hard schedule this year. They got Stephon Diggs, even though he had a little bit of a literal run-in.
You said that the Texans have a bit of a difficult, bit of hard schedule this year.
Yes.
But you still think they're going to be 15-2?
Yes. When you look at the
I just wanted to put that out there.
Teams.
I just wanted to put that out there.
When you look at the teams, those are hard teams, but I think they could beat them.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying.
Except for the one. What I do? Jacksonville is my.
You had Jacksonville kind of upsetting them, which means that they would be 16-1 if they do beat if they beat Jacksonville.
And you know what? I did tell you when I was going over my division rankings and everything like that, figuring out the records and stuff. There was a team I did have going 16-1, and I just could not pull myself to do that.
It was you had the Jets. You had the Jets going 16-1.
Okay.
Yeah, because even then you were telling me that I was like, maybe pull back from that. Maybe just give yourself a little wiggle room here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Stephon Diggs, they picked up Joe Mixon, I believe.
Yes, because Devin Singletary now with the New York Giants.
Yeah. He's too busy fighting neighbors' battles for him because he's just running away. Okay.
Listen, to be fair, listen. I watched that video.
Yeah, he punched first.
Yeah, he did a little swipe and then was going back to the huddle. The other guy got upset, came up, started wailing him on the helmet, and then neighbors got a couple good shots on him too.
After the whole team got involved.
Everybody was there. Once you start swinging on somebody, there's going to be something. You can't be swinging on nobody. So let's calm down. Let's calm down with that Philly bias that we have here.
All I got to say is Big Dom will just piss him off, and he'll be done for the season. Neighbors will be done for the season.
Yeah, until he touches somebody again, they got to kick him out again. That big fat bastard.
We found a loophole, and that's why we gave him a
I know you gave him a new title. I don't care. You still can't touch no players. You touch one of the players, body slam that fat bastard.
Anyways, it'd be like Jelly Roll and Austin Theory.
Dude, what awesome. A great! I'll tell you what, I enjoyed SummerSlam. Anybody who didn't, kiss my ass. I don't care. I thought SummerSlam was great. So,
even the heel turns that you knew were coming, I was still pissed off at them. Like
I still liked it. Yeah,
it's coming. Yeah.
Like we knew, I even before the match even started, I was like, Dom's turning, right? You're like, yeah, and then Dom turned and still like, yo, son of a bitch.
Back to so Houston Texans, I just think they're too good of a team to regress. So that's why I got them at number 5.
All right. I also noticed just that this is a complete like ADHD show, man. We're supposed to be talking about our power rankings and how they go, everything like that, and we've gone through. We talked about Ayuk. We talked about Hornets. We've talked about SummerSlam now and Dominic Mysterio, and now we've concluded with your pick there for the.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Oh God, dude, these live streams are going to be crazy. Oh God,
yeah.
If you go, listen, you're going to want to see those. If you want to, like, share, and subscribe. Also, got a lot of links down there. I know. Wait. There we go. Yeah. Over here is where we have our QR codes for the merch store and our donation station. Guess what? Links are also down below us in the description. If you want to just go down there, click on the links. It's going to take you right there to them, so you can go ahead and either donate some money to us, so that we can go ahead and get you better stuff. Like I said, this is a 8.5-year-old mic, and for $30 I got it. Not the best, so we can improve. We can still improve, and we could use your help in doing so. So you have that. You also have the merch store, which is like donating money to us, except you get something, which is kind of cool, I think, anyway. So you have all that. Plus, I don't know if you know about this, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Discord, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on in there right now, as you can imagine, but you could be the people that start all the cool, fun stuff that's in there. So link to the Discord is also down below. Give it a shot. Sign up. Join us today. That'll be great. That out of the way. It's time to go ahead and put my number 5 team up here. And again, this is one that we've already seen from you. As I just took yours off, I'm going to show it again because it is up here. You have them a little bit lower. I have them a little bit higher. And we've kind of shit on them a little bit, I guess, in the last couple weeks. But
okay.
It's not that I'm shitting on them, because I honestly think they're going to be a good team, and I have them in my top 5 clearly. So I think they're going to be a good team starting the season anyway, based off of last season. It's just that it was such a small sample size that it was hard to make a full season. Like, yeah, I think they're great, But my number 5 team is the Green Bay Packers. I have the Green Bay Packers at number 5. Why do I have them so high? And again, I have them right now higher than the Detroit Lions. Two spots higher than Detroit Lions, which is crazy. Some people might say, "You're crazy. What are you doing, King? That's nuts. You can't be doing that." And you're probably right. It's probably because I am insane. But hear me out for a second. It almost feels like, and again, this is not based on statistics. This is not going to be based on anything else. This almost feels like a letdown year for the Lions. And what I mean by that is I just feel like this could be. Now, I'm not saying it is. And we'll get more into that when we get to our NFC North predictions there on Friday Forecast in a couple of weeks. But it could be, and it just feels like it might be a letdown season for Lions. And by a letdown, I don't mean that they missed the playoffs. I don't mean that they aren't going to be good. I mean that maybe it's just not one where they win a division, or maybe not one where it seems like they lose some games that they shouldn't lose, or I don't know. Something about it just maybe doesn't feel right. And for the Packers, it almost feels like they're riding high right now. They demolished Dallas in that wild card game, where Dallas got a couple of garbage time points and touchdowns. But let's face facts, that game was over by the start of the second quarter. It was a goddamn bloodbath. And then, if we're being honest, and again, we did this live stream with the 49ers and Packers playoff game, and we said this about the Lions when they played them too in the NFC Championship game. Packers should have won. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, the Packers had a lead. The Packers had, it seemed like everything was in their hands, in their grasp, and they just kind of let it go. Don't start singing Frozen. Don't you
No,
dare.
I found out my niece that's her new movie now. She was on Mona, but
did you say Mona?
What? How's that movie's pronounced?
Jesus Christ! Why am I?
She was on Toy Story.
Moana.
Moana.
That is Moana, not Mona.
Moana.
It's not.
Pretty
It's
close.
not the mother from Who's the Boss. It's a Polynesian girl who talks to the Rock, who's a god. So
yeah. I know the movie. I just, me and pronunciations.
Yes, I know you and your Jimbo Grage. I've just stumbled with that now. I thought I was getting you, and then you ended up getting me with the Mona thing, and I was just like, well, now I'm all screwed up. Anyway, But like I was saying, I think the Packers are going to be almost, it feels like they have a chance to play better than what their expectations are. And I know some people have their expectations for them to be fairly high.
Yeah.
On a realistic level, I honestly do think that they're going to be more, not middle of the road, but I think they're going to have some struggles and they're going to do. But if Jordan Love is the Jordan Love of the 10 games that he started last year, I mean, the Packers do have another franchise quarterback. Yeah. Like that's the long and short. Like we sat here and we talked about it on last week's episode of the main show on Wednesday, which you can go check out. We have the whole video library. You guys can go check it out anytime you want. But we did talk about how we felt like there wasn't enough of a sample size. He got too big of a contract. They didn't really do anything. However, if Jordan Love is that guy, if that sample size that we got from the 10 games last year is who he is, then the Packers have their third, like they're going to have three quarterbacks over 50 years of just having franchise quarterbacks. They're going to have gone from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to now 20 years of Jordan Love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of this is going to be based on his play. If he can play the same that he did last year, or better, honestly, the sky's the limit for the Packers. Yeah. And they can take a 1-year break from winning the NFC North and then just kind of go ahead and usurp the Lions again. So, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to have a dogfight for that division between the Packers and the Lions. I think that's going to be the main story all year. It's going to be just a back and forth slug fight. Who's on top this week? Who's on top the next week? Who's going that way? And that's why I do have them so very close. But to start off the season, and again, this is the preseason power ranking. This is not what I'm saying how it's going to look at the end of the year. Never is. What I'm saying is for the preseason, as we're going into the season, this is how I view it, and that's how I view it. I view the number 5 overall team to be the Green Bay Packers. That's just how I see it. So, to break it down, as it is so far, I have in my top 12 so far, I have at 12, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 11, I have the Cleveland Browns. 10, the Miami Dolphins. 9, the Cincinnati Bengals. 8, the Philadelphia Eagles. 7, the Detroit Lions. 6, the Houston Texans. And at number 5, I have the Green Bay Packers. Now, for Jimbo, you have the New York Jets at number 12. You have the Packers, who we just discussed, at number 11. So we do both have them in our top 12. So that's interesting. You don't think they're going to be that bad, So that's something there. We both have the Dolphins there at number 10. You have the Cowboys at 9, Bengals at 8, your Philadelphia Eagles at number 7, the Cleveland Browns at 6, and the Houston Texans at number 5. That means next week we're going to be at pick number 4, which means only 4 weeks until the start of the NFL season, when next you see the countdown here on Stay Tuned Sports. As of right now, we got 5 weeks. I think it's 30 days from today is the Thursday night game, or 30 days from... It's 30 days until the start of the NFL season. It'll be 29 days tomorrow, or 28 days in 2 days, which will be the 4 weeks for the Thursday. Math and calendars. It's fun. It's just great stuff. But be it as it may, we're almost there.
Yes.
Season's almost here. We got preseason. The real preseason is starting this week. Giants play on Thursday. Eagles are playing on Friday. At the rate it's going, there might be gang violence between the Giants and Lions during their preseason game because they just cannot seem to stop fighting. That'll be fun to watch. We may do a live stream of the Eagles game on Friday to kind of test out some things. So keep an eye out and see a look. You can come by and see how we're doing and get a little sneak peek at what the live stream might look like here. So that'll be fun. And unfortunately, as we've been on here, there's been no breaking news as far as anything going on with Brandon Ayuk. The last thing I saw was that somebody is reporting Matt Mayako, I guess is his name. Okay. He's a reporter with NBC Sports, and he's from the Bay. Blah, blah. He covers the 49ers, basically.
I was going to say, yeah.
And he says the Steelers were not willing to meet the 49ers trade demands yesterday, but Pittsburgh has been a preferred destination for Ayuk. Okay. And he said that in response to Adam Schefter's tweet where he says the Steelers and 49ers have re-engaged in the conversations midday today regarding Brandon Ayuk. So that might be the reason why he hasn't accepted either the Browns or the Patriots offer yet, is because he really wants to work out something with Pittsburgh. Which is, now we know. But now here's the thing, too. If Pittsburgh balks at it or doesn't want to do anything or doesn't go to where he goes, does he then go to the Browns and be like, I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them twice a year why they should have traded for me. And just go to Cleveland and just lay a whooping on him every time he plays them. That could be. That could add a little thing.
Or has this whole time the leaks of the Patriots and the Browns being involved try to drive up the Steelers' price? Did the Niners leak this stuff to drive the Steelers' price up?
I don't know, because they gave him the option to go talk to teams to work out contracts. So Brandon Ayuk and his agent, I presume, have gone to the Patriots and to the Browns to work out what would the contract be in a sign and trade kind of situation, which is what this would basically end up being. So it's not that he's unaware of wanting to go to Cleveland or New England. So I don't think it's a case of where the 49ers are artificially doing this to try to drive up the price. I think they said, if you want to go find somebody, go find somebody. And he talked to all these teams. He wants to go to the Steelers, but the Steelers balked at it one time. And now maybe that it's come out and says, like, no, I really want to go to the Steelers. That the Steelers have started to re-engage and see if there's something there that they want to do, but we don't know that, you know. And so now it's a case of, I think now where I said before is like maybe he just stays with the 49ers, maybe he's just going to stay there, maybe that's what it's going to be. Now it almost feels like if the Pittsburgh deal doesn't get done, that then he takes the Browns deal and then says to Pittsburgh, you know, it just feels like that.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. We'll be back tomorrow for the main show. Stay tuned, sports. We'll be here, maybe live. I don't know. I really want to push this live thing. I'm itching. I'm itching to go live. So maybe we'll do that. And maybe we'll have some breaking Brandon Ayuk news. If something does happen like today, within the next couple hours, maybe I'll jump back on here live. We'll do it. If you're still around, maybe we'll both be on here. I don't know. You know, something cool, breaking news happens. If something happens, and it's a maybe. So we'll see.
If I do jump back on, for the viewers, don't be scared or anything if I'm like all swollen up and everything from the wasps.
From all the wasps. Well, no, I think we understand that. I think we're all willing to put your safety at risk to go ahead and break some Brandon Ayuk news. But
I'll look like Hitch.
Anyway, for your good friend Jimbo, he's over there. I'm your boy King. This has been the Countdown. Adios.
Squirrel.